No, I'm not Big Blue Sky. I happen to be Larry Stone. I'm Secretary of the Motor Mill Foundation. Welcome to our great Elkader Opera House, and thank you for your support of our Motor Mill projects. We really appreciate people coming. Along that line, somebody on this committee, Strawberry Point, your Big Blue Sky, and thanks again for coming.
Hey, thank you. In the spirit of the event that we're celebrating here tonight, the spirit of heritage and history, I thought I'd take a few minutes here at the beginning of the show to share a practice and a craft that came on my path here recently. In the last 3 years, I've begun crafting Native American flutes that have their roots all over the North American continent. And so I wanted to say a few words about that before I begin. When I play, there's not a specific piece of music that's being played. It is something that comes from my heart, comes from the Creator's heart, and it comes from your heart as the listener. So when you're listening and when I'm playing, it's a chance for all of us to participate in an ancient healing art, which is music, making music with our breath or with our bodies. And similarly, you'll see how that evolves through the night, no matter how many musicians we bring in. So I have a few flutes here. I'm only going to play maybe 2 or 3, but I'm not sure which ones. So I put them out and I let them tell me what's going to happen. Let the flute say, let the spirits of the place say, the spirits of this land. And I'll play it for however long it goes, and there's no need for any applause. Between each flute, please don't applaud. When I'm done, I'll let you know, and then you may applaud at that time, or maybe not. We'll see. This first flute is one that has its roots here in Iowa. It came from a piece of eastern red cedar that grows on the property where my father lives, right outside Marquette, McGregor. This next flute that I'm going to play is a flute that was typical of some of the more nomadic cultures in Native America. And I guess it's fair to say that, to explain that these instruments were almost lost. As you can imagine, a people as oppressed as the Native American people of this continent were by our ancestors, it didn't make much sense to be playing a flute, because if anyone heard it, they would come after you, they would find you. But before those days, the flute was a fundamental and important part of the culture for what the latest figures that have been put out is as early as 40,000 years ago. People were creating flutes with finger holes in them, tuned in similar ways. So a little flute like this is what would make sense if you were a nomadic person. A little thing like this, very portable, but with a lot of sound. And this style, one of my teachers comes from the Apache, the Chiricahua band of the Apaches that lived in the Arizona and Mexican borderlands. And part of their tradition, each band, although they were very nomadic, always had a songkeeper with them. And every morning, they stayed near water sources and they bathed every morning. They were very clean people, very hygienic people. And they would bathe to the flute music every morning for thousands of years. And so part of my work with these flutes is to hopefully reintroduce some of this kind of culture, and especially to the young people. And that perhaps maybe these kind of songs and this kind of reverence will be brought back into our daily lives and into our modern lives. So lastly here, I'm going to share a very unique instrument that has its roots in the Mayan country of Yucatan, southern Mexico, and Guatemala, Belize. And this flute is tuned in the interval of fifths. It's two flutes put together, so it's very difficult to play. Playing a big flute and a little flute at the same time. But this interval of the fifth was very sacred to the Mayans and played a very important role in their temple life, and especially in the occurrence and the passing of death, which was something that their culture was infatuated with, death and learning about death, and even walking purposefully and intentionally into death, that they may learn more about what death is and how to deal with it in their families and in their communities. So with this flute, I like to honor a dear relative of mine, a great uncle who's just passed away this last week, and also put it out there for anyone who would like to remember someone or something. Thank you very much.
Sometimes we win, yeah, life can be full or can get a little thin.